let's make a meal plan. Meal planning is essential for your grocery shopping along with just your organization around food. You will need it to really keep on track with what you're going to eat. Also, stay to the end and I will give you a few time-saving tips, like some ways to make it easier and have just a better week. Okay, to start out, gather all of your items. I like to use saved recipes that I have online or I printed out, cookbooks. So also as you build these meal plans, keep them. That way you can reference them as an easy way to have a roadmap for the following months or years. So just pull it out, kind of look at what you did before and what you liked, and that way just plug it into a new month. Besides the recipes, you will also need a monthly planner and a weekly planner, and some kind of paper to do a grocery list. I also like to use my computer for recipes, but also to pull up the weekly specials that the grocery store is having. So definitely grab something to write with. Of course, you can just use your phone for all of this, but I really enjoy writing it down. And I definitely like to use a pencil. That way I can erase whatever, because I make a lot of changes. You can always scribble it out, but I really enjoy using a pencil for all of this. One of the very first essential things you need to do is look in your fridge and see what you have available, maybe what didn't get used last week that's still good that you want to use up. But while you're in your fridge, now is a really good time to get out any of the old food that you didn't eat and it might be past its prime. Clear out any of the old to make room for that new when it comes home. That way you can just slide it right in. And now is a really good time to look in all of the nooks and crannies of the fridge for that thing that might be in the back and might have been forgotten. And so bring it up, either toss it or use it. Also, besides seeing what ingredients you might already have and want to use up, like that vegetable from the fridge or something in the pantry, you do want to check your weekly specials and see what they have on sale there. And so go to the website of the store that you shop at, or if they send something in the mail, go through that and you'll see, oh, they have chicken on sale. They have some chicken breast. So let me maybe swap out one of the recipes I was going to make for this recipe that has chicken breast or that has strawberries or that has the thing that's on sale, and you can choose multiples of these. This is a great way to save money, but also on some of these, if you know that you are going to use this in the future, like you see on your list that you have several things with chicken breast, now might be a time to invest in something on sale or switch up one of the recipes. Also, as you're cooking throughout the week, if you happen to use a staple item that you know that you're going to consistently use, something like salt, flour, sugar, something like that, it's really good to keep your list handy. That way you can jot it down on your shopping list ahead of time. So let's begin with your planning. And we are going to begin with a monthly plan. This is a really crucial part of just making it easier and streamlining the whole thing. So what we're going to do is make a monthly plan. I like to use a planner. Sometimes I have an old planner that I didn't actually use. I use that, which I'm using here, and I just open it and just start filling in these pages. And so in this, I'm going to write down different things, and once you get going, you kind of get on a roll. That's why it's so much easier to do the monthly thing versus the weekly thing, because you don't know how much time you're going to have when you sit down to do your weekly one. and you don't want to take all this time to be inspired. So with the monthly, let's say you're looking for recipes and you see a great chicken recipe and you're like, yes, I do want that. And then the next one you see is another chicken recipe. That's why you want to be doing the monthly. That way you move to another week and throw in the other chicken recipe. That way you don't get burnt out on the same type of things, and you can kind of switch it up and really keep your food and your meals a little bit more exciting. I'm going to go through and just pick different pastas, different chickens, different beef, different pork, sandwiches, salads, and kind of spread them out throughout the whole month. And then I'm going to definitely give time for leftovers. Sometimes I'll do leftovers / restaurant in case I've not made quite as much food as I thought, or I have used it up in different lunches. That way I'll know if I don't have the leftovers, I'm just automatically going to go get some takeout or go dine in at a restaurant. Okay, also as I'm going, I might put actual sides I want with that item, but I also might just do a generic side, like put potato or put a salad or put veggie. And later on, when I come back to the weekly one, I might fill it in with the more precise, more exact one. So if you have a specific thought, definitely put that down. But if you don't, at least get the main dish narrowed down. The rest is pretty easy to just fill out later. So now we have the monthly one done. Each week we're going to come back. So now we are going to fill out this week's weekly plan. And I'm going to use this little planner that has the weekly plan on the one side and the shopping list on the other. You are totally okay to do all of this in your phone or to use just a blank piece of paper. It doesn't have to be this fancy, but honestly, it's not too expensive and it lasts quite a while. So now I'm going to reference my monthly one. And let's say that I have a meal still able to make in the fridge that I didn't make. I am going to erase one of those meals, maybe put it on the next month. That way I don't have to think about what to do for the next month. But if I do have something in there still ready to go, I'm going to fill in one of the slots with that. But if not, I'm just going to go and just completely plug in everything into this current week that I have on the monthly one, but this gives me more of an opportunity to get more detailed about it. And so now I am going to for sure list out all of the sides and everything, any kind of accompaniments to it, any drinks, any breads, all of that. I'm going to fill that out completely. And then also now if some plans with friends have come up, I'm going to now put that in the exact dates that I want and move things around accordingly. And like I said, if I have a veggie from the fridge or something from the fridge that needs to be used up, this is the time to get these things in there. So fill it out completely. So a really important thing that sometimes people miss is when you're making your grocery list. So now you have your weekly plan and you are going to make your grocery list. Go item by item in your ingredients list for that recipe. So if it says 1 egg, if it says a cup of flour, if it says like a certain spice, make sure that you have those items. And I sometimes will put eggs on my list with a little star next to it, or whatever it is, that I'm not sure if I will have enough. And so eggs, I'll put a little star, and then sometimes I'll put a little one behind it for each time a recipe calls for that. If I know I have a lot of eggs, because I do get that from Costco too, I don't do that. But let's say that there is a can of beans that I'm not sure if I have. I will put it on my grocery list, and then after I'm done, I will walk around and see if I have that item. And if I do, I just erase it off. If I don't, then I erase the star, and it's a keeper. So a couple of tips just to make meal planning and your meals a lot easier. So tip number one is just to make extra. That way you can have it as leftovers throughout the week. Certain foods you can freeze really well. So if you make some taco meat, enjoy it for that night. Maybe save a little bit extra for maybe a little taco salad that you're going to make for lunch a different day, but then freeze the other half of it. And then a couple weeks later, bring it on out, and then you have a pre-made meal right there ready to go. And or like, let's say that you made some soup that freezes really well, throw it in the freezer, and that way you've enjoyed the soup that month, and then the next month bring it out. And then I always like to grab a quick meal from the grocery store. So some kind of frozen lasagna, a pizza that I liked, or they have some ready kind of seasoned meats in the sandwich deli area, at least of my store. That's a good base. Like it might be some curry chicken. And that way you just need to make some rice and you're all set to go. So just as you're shopping around and you don't have it in your freezer already, grab something that's gonna be a fast meal to make, because sometimes you might have the best plans to make dinner that night and you get caught in a meeting or you get caught in traffic on the way home, and in the end you don't make it in time to make that meal. So push that off to the next day and just make the quick meal that you have in the freezer, or bring out the frozen stuff that I was talking about before. But don't use that as a crutch not to make the meals you have planned for that week. This is just in addition to that. Another one is just to really figure out some really simple, easy meals that you enjoy. So as you're making things, if you figure out that a recipe that you make is really easy and really good, take note of that. Maybe start a little paper or a little note on your phone of really fast, easy recipes that you like. That way you know that you have it on your list and that it won't be a big, hard meal that night. And so these are some little tips to make it easier. I really hope that you found this video informative and that you learned something. And please, if you don't already meal plan, I would love it if you gave it a try. And don't give up. Just because it's hard one week, don't give up. Try it for a couple of weeks and a couple of months. See what you think. And I feel in the end you will find out that actually it's quite useful and quite helpful. And I would love it if you gave it a try. Also, I would like to let you know that I have started a Patreon. And on that Patreon, for $1, I am doing a monthly meal plan. It's going to be 3 nights of meals that you cook, plus a breakfast that you make that week. That way it's not too overwhelming. Give it a try. Let me do the thinking for you on the meal planning. And so I would love it if you grew with me and went over there and took a look and maybe decided to join. All right. Well, thank you so much.